Hello, good evening. This is Foundations of, got to make sure I've got the right angle here. Foundations of Life, Week 5 Course Project. And today is August 10th, and my name is Renee Miles. And I have been asked by the City Council locally to research and identify a hazardous chemical that has been present in the water here. We have an increasing amount of fish that are dying every day. Here's a picture of one of the local beaches. Not good. So what I was able to do is analyze some of the water, and we did find mercury. And we know that mercury, it's a toxic chemical that can result in deaths, and which it is. Clearly, we can see that on the beach. It's a heavy metal. It's found in the water and the air. It's in the soil. It's released into the environment from natural sources and also coal burning, power plants, mining, and it ends up in the waterways. And that's how come it's poisoning the fish right now. The next thing that we wanted to look at was the chemical structure of the toxin to identify the functional groups that may be involved in the action of the poisoning. Mercury has an atomic number of 80. It's classified as a heavy metal. Its atomic radius is 151 pm, and its atomic mass is 200.59. It's a liquid at normal temperature. Mercury has a silvery white appearance, and it can be frozen at 38.83 degrees Celsius. That's Celsius. And it can be heated to 356 degrees, over that actually, Celsius, before it starts to boil. So we can explain mercury on a chemical level. Where is it coming from? We think this gleaming white silvery metal, referred to as mercury, has several deposits all over the globe. It's being used, first of all, for barometers, thermometers, scientific devices of all types, dental fillings. Mercury is sometimes employed in manufacturing, and it's also used in mining gold and silver. It's naturally occurring, and there's a movement to lower its discharge into the environment, at least in human processes. We mentioned earlier how it's getting into the system, into the fish's system. So let's talk specifically about how the fish may be absorbing this. It's probably coming from a landfill or a power plant leakage, improper management, possibly, sewage. It eventually contaminates waterways, and what happens is the mercury enters through the fish's gills. I don't know if you can see that picture right there. And it's absorbed into the fish's, it's methyl mercury, and it's absorbed into the fish's tissues as contaminated water passes through its gills. And then these fish are consumed by larger animals and also by humans. And that's where the real danger comes in, and the problem we really want to head off. The impact that this is having, specifically on humans and fish. There's a picture of our humans and fish. What it does is it goes in and it harms the neurological system. It impacts the growth in both fish and people. High exposure can result in poisoning. It can be fatal. Mercury, when it's ingested, it's detrimental to the neurological system. It's also the renal function and development in humans and in fish. The exposure is called poison, as I already said, and it also can affect cardiovascular issues and then death. And your nervous system is your brain. So it's especially affecting people's minds. It's been associated with Alzheimer's, and it's being found everywhere, rivers, anywhere that poison can affect fish. The organ that's being affected in the fish initially, or in us, it's the mitochondria, and it again, mercury is harmful to the nervous system, all of our organs, but it especially affects the brain, the heart, the kidneys. The mercury exposure can cause memory loss, as we talked about. It's being investigated with Alzheimer's. It can damage the liver, the kidney, the brain, the heart. It's affecting everything. And it enters through the mitochondria into it can diminish liver function as it enters in through the mitochondria of the muscles. Metabolism, it affects behavior of people eventually. Reproduction is affected. Deformities they're finding in fish and people. Olfactory organs, smell. And it's killing marine creatures. It's accumulating in the muscles, and it's and in the adipose tissue. And then we're eating it. And other mammals are eating it. Other larger animals are eating it. Mercury enters the food chain. It's accumulated by the fish, and we eat the fish contaminated. We've talked about that. It hinders a metabolic process. It inhibits. This is where it gets interesting. It inhibits an enzyme. And this particular enzyme, it's let's see, the word acetylchlorinestase. I actually have it queued up to be able to pronounce it because it's big and it's hard. So let's see if it's still here. If I saved it, there it is. Yes. Acetylnolu. Oh, I have my volume turned off. Ah, that's not helpful. Let's try that again.
Acetylcholinesterase.
There we go. Thank you. The enzyme, mercury's interacting with an enzyme, cytochrome C. I don't know if we can still see this. I need my picture back. Yeah, this is that hard word she just said. The, let's see, acetylcholine. What the acetylcholinesterase does, did I say that right? That's what this is. It breaks down the acetylcholine, which is a neurotransmitter. When that's not working properly, it binds to other enzymes in the fish. It causes a variety of problems, including damage to the liver, the kidney, the immune system, the neurological system. So what's happening is it's interacting with another enzyme to have this effect. Part of the deeper research the council wanted me to do just to see exactly what's happening. And finally, we're looking for the cause. And as far as we can tell, we think that the explanation for the mercury, it's being released into the environment in several different ways. We've talked about them already. We've touched on the naturally occurring mercury, but it's being found in coal, oil, natural deposits, but also when things are mined and burned, it's being released into the air and eventually the waterways, which is getting to the fish. And so now we know how, we know what, we know those things. And I have a whole list of references, of course. I'll be submitting lots of them. And I hope that's what we were looking for. I really like this online class stuff. I'm wearing some really crazy socks right now, and you don't know it. So I like this. Good night. Thank you.